be in the
Spring
playoffs.
football is in the air. Auburn had their spring game yesterday. We're going to go over that. Also, Clemson had their spring game. And we're going to talk about local stuff. Of course, Alabama and Uconn game. What a matchup. Bama hangs on, playing close. As predicted about what we thought. Also, Purdue. Edey's he's going to score like he's going to do. And they're a team. They're going to be hard to deal with. But we'll see how Klingon does with them as they'll face off Monday night.
That's a big-time matchup, Klingon and Edey.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I'm excited to kind of see how that turns out. So
they looked good on defense yesterday, Purdue.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Show 230 of your favorite duo. One of the fastest growing sports shows here in North Alabama. Host Big Matt, co-host with the most, Diamond Dean. We are here with The Locker Room, show 230. We're glad y'all can stop by and spend a little bit of your time today with us on this beautiful Sunday evening. Hope you're all having a great day. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit thumbs up on the video, man. Let's try to get 50 thumbs up on this video. I mean, why not?
Yeah, surely.
Podcast listeners, we appreciate you guys also. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and, of course, Apple Podcast listeners of all around the world from London to the Bay. Dean, what is up today?
How you doing, man? This pollen's killing me.
I know, yes. It's like getting painted with a yellow brush every time you go out.
I just wish. Now, let me ask you one question because nobody seems to really know the answer. When will that be over with?
I don't know. Never.
I'm talking about, does it end in May or June?
It'll slow down before hot summer, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what most people have said.
Yeah, we got to have pollen without bees and pollen, we couldn't live.
Right. But it's just absolutely wiped me out this year.
It's been heavy.
I've been sick 2 days. Just from that.
We need rain. We got to have some rain coming. I'll go ahead and hit you. I usually do it at the end of the show. This week looks like probably Tuesday. We're going to get in some rain. It's going to be warm mostly all week. I think all the freezing nights are over. So maybe be cool in the mornings as usual for springtime. But as the day goes on, we'll be rocking up in the 70s probably.
Good.
Today, local action, baseball and softball is kind of sliding towards, it's coming in around third. I think they've already tagged up third and they're heading towards home. We're kind of getting towards the end, probably the 20th or so this month. The 25th is about to be the last regular season games, and then they'll get into some playoff type stuff for each area and each classifications. And we have a couple of different regions around here. We have 2A, 1A, and 4A. So we have a lot of different stuff going on with baseball and softball around here right now.
Now, baseball's winding up pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's not much left.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. About the 25th.
Now, softball a little longer, of course.
They'll start winding things down, and then before you know it, it'll be May. So
yeah.
Spring football is in the air. Auburn had their spring game yesterday. We're going to go over that. Also, Clemson had their spring game, and we're going to talk about local stuff. Of course, Alabama and Uconn game. What a matchup! Bama hangs on, play them close, as predicted about what we thought. Also, Purdue. Edey's he's going to score like he's going to do, and they're a team. They're going to be hard to deal with. But we'll see how Klingon does with them as they'll face off Monday night.
That's a big-time matchup, Klingon and Edey.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of see how that turns out. So
they looked good on defense yesterday. Purdue did.
First up, off the notes here, had some news come in yesterday. Thank you for field reporters out there in the land. Remember, guys, y'all can share, send me a message, send me pictures. That's what I love to do. That side notes whole page, go post pictures over there. Put schedules or who y'all are playing this week. Or I created that page for the county, for the community, or just anybody. You may live in Florida and say, hey, Florida's spring game is here, and here's some notes about Florida's spring game. Share whatever. That's what it's for. So first off, we had some pictures that run off across the page yesterday. Already I think it went over 20,000 people yesterday. Over 20,000 people. The picks, we'd put up a pack. Top of the 7th, they were down 2-1, and Caden hits a grand slam against Galesville, which is, you got to highlight those moments. They don't happen very often. You
Yeah,
get a grand slam to go ahead in the game. It's not only a regular game, but just a rival within the county. For us local people here, they know Cedar Bluff Galesville's battled for years and years.
Right.
And Galesville still, Coach Brandon, he's done a good job. He's been over there second year there, and they've won more games.
Yeah, I think they've won 11. I think they're 11-7 right now.
I can't remember winning that many games back in any time back when maybe I was around.
Yeah, they won a lot back
then.
then.
Shane, I mean, he's great.
I know they won 20 one year, and they've had some other good teams, over the years spread out. But this is the best one in a little bit.
It is. So congratulations again, Coach Lindsey. It's his first year with Coach Coursey, and he's figuring things out, and he's getting to know the kids, and he's figuring out. It just takes a little time. Baseball is a little different than a lot of other sports. You're figuring out, and some of it you're going on hearsay, from where you think the kids might play at, and pitching is something that's got to be worked, and pitching hadn't been really worked over there for a little while. Not a lot of time spent into it, develop it. So, I just give them some time, but great game. So I wanted to
they've had a
stand out him, and I heard from Sampson that it was his birthday, Mallet. So happy birthday to him. He told Caden just to give him a birthday present, just go out there and hit it out. So
he did.
Yeah, so that's what he done. I remember a side story. Alex Webb.
Mm-hmm.
He went out there to the game one day, and he went up to bat, and I told Alex, said, hey, if you'll just hit it to the fence and just score, we can just win the game. I said, we don't have to wait any longer. Do you want ice cream from McDonald's? Yeah. I said, well, if you just score right now, we'll win. We can go ahead and we'll get ice cream today. Okay. He hits the fence, runs all around, scores, game over. So we made sure we got ice cream that day. So also Spring Garden boys battling here with Coosa 7-2 and 6-5. They lost in that series there. They will play Cedar Bluff next. Spring Garden, Cedar Bluff. That county battle back when Keaton and Ross and Levi and all them played. It's been a good one. Benefield and Tabbitt was good entertainment. People came from all over just to see them.
Yeah. They
great battles back in the day.
That was a good rivalry.
Sandrock boys, they'll be getting finished up here in the next few weeks. The 15th looks like they'll be at Gaston, then they'll be at Cedar Bluff the 15th. So some local baseball action there. Coach Short over there. Really enjoyed getting to go hang out with the guys some at Sandrock, and I like to get back over there and see them again before season gets away from us. Center boys. Well, they played the defending champs, and I mean, Etowall's good. Okay.
Wow.
I mean, Etowall's good, and so
yes,
they played them close in game 2. It was a little bit closer, and Coach Hendo is also kind of he's second year in here full time as the guy. Really, he's figuring it out, and he knows the kids, and he knows where they need to be, and they're kind of feeling themselves.
They've had a pretty good year.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good year. It's a tough region, man. They'll be North Jackson's number 1 in that region, 14 right now. Center's in second over there in that region. They have DARs at 3, and Etowall shows to be 8 and 8 as of right now. And some softball action. The Cedar Bluff girls played Spring Garden. They had lost over 3-0. They have Piedmont then at Sandrock. On coming into this coming week, Cedar Bluff girls, that is, and Coach Mandy back at the helm again.
Yeah,
coaching
back
things
again,
and doing what she's good at, and I know they appreciate her over there for.
Oh yeah, she's a nice woman.
She always does a good job. And Cherokee County girls, they was in some tournaments yesterday. I didn't get nothing sent to me on some score and stuff, but they were winning. They've
had a good year.
Yeah, I know. Winning over there, taking care of 5, and then they'll have Asheville at home. Looks like they'll be at Southside next week. They're number 1 right now, Region 12 4A. Of course they are. And hats off to Tucker. She crushes it. She had a 2-run shot over there. I believe it was in the 5th game to take them ahead in that game. So anytime you can beat 5, I know they're just 2A for softball, but they got a good program.
Oh yeah, they do, and everything pretty much. I don't know if anything they're bad
even
at
their
right
soccer,
now.
I think's does pretty good sometimes.
Really?
Galesville girls they'll be at Coosa Christian coming up this next week. Right now, Skyline, the girls softball, they're one in that region. They're 17-5.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I like to see.
You got Center's record. Do you know what they're?
Yeah, it's same. By now, it's probably like 20-2.
Yeah, I knew it was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, we look for them to, as the month ends and the regular season kind of winds up. It'll be. They should make a good run at it.
Yeah.
If they have to run in one of those private schools, and that's what usually happens, you run into one of those 1 through 4A private schools, win a lot.
Yeah.
Especially just to even get out of the north and try to play
baseball and softball. I mean, baseball there, it was getting ridiculous there at one time.
Yeah, Athens Bible and Shoals Christian for Cedar Bluff and Spring Garden when they were running those areas.
Decatur Heritage, wasn't it?
They were always
real good.
Yeah, it's hard to get through them. Sandrock ladies, Caitlin St. Clair and Bunch, 7-6 lost over to West End. They'll be at home for Spring Garden. It's like the 8th. So go up there and support them. They'll be out there playing. And then they'll be at Cedar Bluff later on in the week. So you're out in the area, go support our local teams. And if you don't have a team, just pick one close to you and go by and grab some popcorn. And I know the Cherokee County girls, the softball games concession, they'll have pintos and cornbread sometimes. So.
Pintos?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not many people that don't like pintos and cornbread, are there?
I don't know anybody that don't. They like a little onion in it. Some people like a little mayo mixed in it.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Mayo?
Yeah. Pretty good.
Well, I think I have seen that.
It's pretty good. That's local news. We'll cut right through some of this, and we're going to have a short show, kind of a special time of day. So we're glad that y'all stopped by to hang out with us this evening. And but here's some other news, and we'll kind of come through this. This is the running back, the Holly kid, young man at LSU. I had picked up on this. He had got into some trouble. Supposed to have been charged with like 3 felonies on a murder case or something, and just a bad situation, got picked up.
Gosh.
But he turned himself in. Okay. Went to the police as soon as he found out, hey, I'm here. I'm turning myself in. I didn't have anything to do with this. What do I need to do?
Right.
And that's how you
Which is the right thing to do.
Yes. Let that be a good judgment there to young people. If you get in trouble or something goes down, just go turn yourself in. Say, hey, I'm here. What do I need to do to make this easier? So he'd been arrested back on the 15th. The apartment complex over in Farmville, Louisiana. Very rough little part of town.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of rough parts of town in Louisiana.
Yeah. So
from what I've read, I've never been.
Trey Holly there. So I thought it was I had to get some good news. We always hear about bad. So I hope everything works out and he learned his lesson. And also ETN, Georgia, Coach Smart said he's moving along through practice this week. Georgia will be getting ready to play their spring football. We'll get into that too for just a minute. Starting up next week for a lot of teams. Next Saturday will be a lot. Now Alabama, they play theirs at 3 next week.
I have to check that out. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like this. You weren't one of them that said this, but I've heard several people think they don't believe Milroe will be the quarterback, and I don't know where they're getting that.
I don't know where you're getting it because I keep up with it pretty close.
He's 110% their quarterback, right?
Yeah, 110.
Yeah.
A
lot of this was after the Michigan game.
Well, you're going to hear that because they're just fans get mad because they lost. And they blamed it on him. But if they really, really watch football or really if you really follow the game, I mean, I don't know, if you just pay attention a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he was under a lot of duress.
Well, the right tackle got destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay. And the snap was low.
Yeah, I'm talking about the whole game, though. Yeah, on that last play, for sure.
So
the initial reaction was he won't be the quarterback anymore. And I saw
he's better.
No signs whatsoever of that.
He's better. Because I watched film on him. I watched their spring games there because their practices are televised now. I mean, I mean, not televised. It's media can be there and record it. And everybody knows who Martin Houston is, right?
Yes.
He's got a talk show podcast.
Right. Very good one.
I share his stuff on our page. I've chatted with him once or twice over last month a little bit. swap some information. He's a Cherokee County guy, and he's a big supporter of his old school up here. So we chat about that a little, and he has teams there. I mean, a team of people, like a lot of the media people do at practice, and they look great.
Yeah, they're going to be. Deboer's doing a good job, I think. Yep. And
number 2 recruiting class, man, that's not bad.
No,
I think you're okay.
Yeah. I mean, he may not be Nick Saban, but that's okay.
But who is?
Yeah.
Kirby's not going to be Nick Saban. Kirby's not going to win 4 more titles at Georgia.
I wouldn't think.
Not with
the way things are going now. Now, if we'd had the old model, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Over a 15-year period, he may be able to win 4 more. But the way things are now.
I think so. I wouldn't think anybody will win 4 more in the next 15 years. I wouldn't think.
No, I think those days are kind of done.
Might have a different champion every year.
You've seen some highlights with me. We peeked at Auburn a little bit. Their spring game. Anything the quarterbacks you've seen throwing, something that stood out to you on? Or
Brown looked all right.
Yeah, I like Brown.
Hank Brown, and of course I like Coleman. He may be better than I told somebody I thought Ryan Williams was better, but
that's 1A and 1B.
Bo Starkey was like, I don't know, and I think Bo might have been right. He's not a lot better.
No, it's 1A and 1B.
These are Julio Jones types, right?
Yes. Well, Cam's a little bigger. He's bigger than Williams. Hollywood is right at a 6 foot, maybe 6'1" guy, where Cam is a full 6'3", fast. He's going to cause some trouble on the day.
Immediate impact.
Yeah, so the big play, I guess if Auburn fans, if you're watching the game, nobody could watch it. And he's had SEC Network Plus, ESPN Plus. So you had to watch it on your phone or laptop. That's stupid. Why can't we get – I ain't going to get started on that. I'm just saying we have a lot of channels out there available. Why can't we put in it's not like they're in a competition even with other teams with spring games.
Right.
Why? Why can't we just put it on ESPN too?
Yeah.
What do you have on there? Badminton tournaments, pickleball?
We got a lot of.
Skip the badminton tournaments and put Auburn spring game on the stupid TV. I'd like to watch it.
I had a woman tell me yesterday that they had pillow fighting on yesterday. I'm not kidding. Some type of pillow fighting.
So you put Auburn on that spot. Let them have their spring game. So first off, to start with spring football talk with Auburn here, just remember it's spring. Your defense is going to be way ahead of your offense.
Right.
Don't read too much into this. Don't freak out. Don't panic, because Auburn had to kick about 8 field goals to even – Coleman's the only one that even scored a touchdown.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So they kicked Magoo, which was a kicker, freshman. He's from Auburn High School. He had like 5 60-yard field goals in high school, and he made
he made a long one yesterday.
40s and 42s and 50-somethings, and so he can nail the ball. So up front, I'll say overall, what did I think about Auburn right now? I think they're young with White and Brown being the quarterback, and Brown, I think he's going to be great. Thron's going to be your Thorpe, or he's going to start. Okay, that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah, but he may lose that
in some games if something happens. Now
I mean, he may not.
Freeze is not going to. Just keep him in if he starts faltering. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
He'll swap him out.
Yeah. I mean, he may not swap him out after the first incompletion.
Now, the new kid, White, he's fast. He's learning. And overall, that's what I've seen with what I watched. It looks they're in it's just his second year, guys. Just what I said to begin them with. Calm down.
Yeah, you can't go by that. I mean, you can go by the spring a little.
You can see some guys push each other around. And,
I remember one time in driver's ed, Bobby Joe Johnson, the great Bobby Joe Johnson, was our driver's ed teacher. And they played Anniston in a spring game, and center looked good, and that was close. And I remember saying something to Coach Johnson about it, and he's like, Anniston will win it all next year. I'm like, they didn't look real good. He goes, well, they didn't have everybody out there. They'll win it all.
Yeah, they did.
And they did.
It's good, and he has a good eye for talent. He was good.
He did have a great eye for talent.
So basically, overall, I'd say it was okay. We know they got a field goal kicker, and the negative side of that is that's not going to win them a bunch of games. Now, on the plus side of this, DJ Reed and TJ Lindsey on the defense, they look good. They're getting in the backfield. They're making plays. On the offensive side, you know, Thrawn, he's going to be your quarterback. I did enjoy watching Jeremiah Cobb. Also, Austin in the backfield.
I think Cobb's going to be good. Yeah.
Very good.
I saw Austin make
of course, Hunter, I mean, he's going to carry the ball, but
he's the main man.
Austin and Cobb they're going to be trouble.
Cobb showed some flashes of brilliance, of greatness, not brilliance, last year. And
had 33 carries for 170.
Yeah. And
180.
Of course, he's from Montgomery.
Catholic. Yeah.
Catholic.
Played with Coach Juice and the guys that won it last year.
They lose him and win the state championship.
Yeah.
Didn't win it with him.
No.
It's kind of weird, but he's going to be special before he's done.
Also, Brown. Now he made some plays in the spring game. Right wide receiver. He's going to play opposite ends of Coleman. So if you try to cover up Coleman over there, you're going to leave Brown up. If you try to double up down Brown on that one side, then you're going to leave Coleman open. But just remember, if Coleman drops some passes in some games, he's a freshman.
Right.
He's a kid. He's very young. He's got a lot of natural athletic ability like Wyatt does here. And they got some young guys on this team. Okay, guys. Auburn, a young defensive backfield. I went through this, back a month ago. We talked about it a little bit. There are only really one or two guys they're going to kind of bring back. And the big problem last year was Auburn dropping the ball. Mm-hmm. Remember how many drops they had in one game?
Yes. Several.
You can't drop the ball.
They had a decent running game, but struggled in the passing game. And a lot of it was dropped. Some of it was the quarterback, but it wasn't all the quarterback.
No. You're going to have to. And they've got some tight ends that they're using. And it looks to me, and now again, it's just spring, but we know how Freeze likes to run offense. He wants to create one-on-ones. Mm-hmm. And he tries to bring these motions and these windows, and he'll pull guards and tackles and have you all pulling across, and he'll fake this come across, with Cobb or somebody, and he'll go back real quick out to that outside. And he's trying to create matchup problems, and they're going to go fast. Yeah.
Yeah, he likes that. He's got some pressure on him. I'll be honest.
Yeah, he does. I'm just telling you.
He's got some, because, I mean, he don't need to be any worse than 8-5 or 7. He don't need to be 7-6 or 6-7.
Well, if they win 6 again,
they're going to be on him. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes right now because it's not an easy job.
And there's at Auburn.
It's not like they're loaded like Alabama and Georgia right now.
Yeah, what's the difference? Your thoughts on why is Auburn just different from Bama and Auburn? Why is it?
Well, I just think that these kids are going to Alabama and Georgia right now, and Auburn's, in the same state.
They had 11. They had 11 300 picks from the top 300. Okay, and Bama will have like 28. Georgia will have like 30. Yeah, that's a difference, guys. So just be cool. Don't try to kill the guy his second year there. It's going to give him a little bit of time.
Well, it's just, and you can't do nothing about it. And it's no knock against Auburn or Georgia Tech or Vanderbilt, but. You grow up in Alabama or Tennessee or Georgia, you're going to want to play for the main school there. Yeah. And I think they run into that. That's hurt them.
Not that they can't compete or beat Georgia. They almost beat Georgia and Alabama last year.
Yes. Came very close to beating Alabama. I mean, there was one play.
1 second. So that tells you.
For a Final Four team.
They play with a lot of emotions. But the thing is with that, when you come in high like that on these emotions, it's hard to sustain and beat a team that's just kind of riding the wave and trying to go through the high and low points. So from what I seen in Auburn's spring game yesterday, man, if they win 8, I think they've had a good season. Now it's just a spring game, but I see how he wants to play. Like I said, he wants to make one-on-one matchups. Now their interior defense now, they're not bad. And like I said, Reed and Lindsey both. These are going to be some good ball players. And there's a lot of other guys on here too. I broke some more Auburn down a few weeks ago. I'm just trying to give a basic idea. We've seen them spring. We just watched them practice. Right. That's all it is. It's just practice. So we kind of got to see
practice.
Practice. We're playing for the championship. You want to talk about practice?
Oh, you take it. Okay, good.
So, they look okay. And I feel still that there's still some quarterback things they got to.
I just feel that their fans are wanting more than they're capable sometimes. And I understand they're a fan, and that's who they pull for. But I just don't think they have Alabama talent.
It's just always kind of been that way.
There was a time there when Alabama was probably a lot better than Auburn, but Auburn was better than Alabama, but not since Saban's come around.
And every once in a while, they're going to win some games that they shouldn't win.
Mm-hmm. Because they do have good players.
Yes.
They just don't have as many.
Yes. And they can get up to play one game. And I think that's the problem. And we'll move on from Auburn. And stop holding yourself to stop trying to be Alabama.
Yeah.
It's like it seemed that year when Cam and them had got there, when Gus had got them, in the gene, had got them in this mindset, we're just going to go play the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you play it. They're playing the schedule, but that Iron Bowl is circled. That's it.
Yeah, definitely.
Season's over. Once we play Alabama, then we're just trying to beat. Stop doing that. Stop it. Just go play your game. Be Auburn. Be who you are, and be the best you can be, and try to grow and get better. Now, I watched the interview. Pate had Freeze on an interview, said a one-on-one, and Pate, y'all go watch him. We watch him every Sunday. He'll be on here in a little bit. We don't lose, we learn, kind of thing. And that's what Freeze was telling Josh, like the ideology and the thinking here at Auburn. We've got to be able to hold ourselves accountable for losses, and also that's just the mentality. We're not losing, we're going to learn.
Right. Well, yeah, you can always learn from a loss every time.
He wants to be able to hold it together late in games, and that's where they've had problems.
Yeah.
Not finishing.
Well, yeah, and, it's happened 2 times with Alabama. 2 times, last drive.
Yeah.
Had them, even with Young that time, I felt like they had them. They had to go 90. He had to go 97 in less than 2 minutes.
Focus.
And he did it.
It's just focus.
Or they did it. He didn't do it on his own.
And there's been a little bit of more consistency at the head coach's spot at Alabama over the last 17 years.
Yes.
And now Auburn's been through one and been through one and been through one. Like Carson, Gus was there, and his last year or two, him and Steele's just arguing and fighting with each other over who's going to be the head coach. And then Harsin comes, he did nothing. Gus left the bus empty. No recruiting. They didn't recruit. So how's he going to rebound this team? How can Freeze rebound a team that had about a 5 or 6 year stint of bad recruiting, and now he's just going to come in year 2 and have a pretty good recruiting class?
Well, now, I don't want to make no indictments on Harsin as a person, and I'm sure he'll do well again in coaching, but that was not a good tenure at Auburn.
No.
That hurt
Terrible.
her. And, I don't know why. It just probably because of where he's from. I'm just guessing. He just didn't know the layout of the land. And,
and when people's got it in against you, and and Auburn has a bad problem with this.
Now, they never accepted him in the first place.
Well, but nobody wants to help.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have your assistants. You got to all be together.
Right.
And you can see when it all comes together, what Gene did there, it all come together. Tommy had a team that several years that all come together, and they didn't win a natty.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'd like for him to be able to play for it one time. But you know what I'm saying?
Right. He did have some good teams.
They talk about family at Auburn, and they breathe that out. The coaches do, and they talk about it so much.
Mm-hmm.
But the coaches are not bought into that.
Right. There's too much division. I think Freeze has got his staff. They're probably more together than Harsin's.
Yeah, the staff, including Derek Nix. Of course, he's going to call help with the offense. I don't know how Freeze is going to
be. Yeah.
Calling.
Now, he may be standing right beside him and let him have most of the time.
Yeah.
But, sometimes.
And Durkin, which has a good track record coming from Big 12 football, he's going to call the defense. And then Ken Austin is the QB coach. I like him. He's, proven in some of his background and what he's done. So we'll see.
Durkin's proved all 3 of them to a certain extent. Maybe not Nix on a Power 5 as being offensive coordinator, but give the man a chance. He's just he's 42, 43.
Yeah, he's younger than me.
And I don't think we need to give up on him right yet, but he don't have as much experience as Durkin.
Yeah, y'all just chill out and give Coach Freeze a chance. And really, honestly, this is new coaches coming this year. So this is really his first year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they got to mesh. You got to be on the same page with your coaches.
The coaches need to get together. They've all got to get together, and they sell family to all the recruits that come in there. But it seems like for a long time, Auburn staff just have. I mean, they run Cadillac off for whatever reasons.
Mm-hmm. I've heard
and
some pretty bad stories, but I don't know if they're
stories.
True.
But he seemed like a real huge part of that team, the whole family.
Etheridge too. You remember Zach Etheridge? Well, I just know. Which we're not going to get into that on here, but I mean, I've heard rumors, but I don't know if that was it or not.
That family feeling is so. That's kind of my take on it. If they come together and just play well and they can get it together, I can see them winning 8 games.
Well, and
their schedule's hard. Remember, Auburn's the only school. They get Georgia and Bama every year. It's locked in. Yeah. They'll never get away from that.
No, that's not. And that's not 1, 2. You won't be locked in right now.
So it's like there's 2 losses automatically almost every year.
More than likely for most teams. I mean, Ole Miss got to play Georgia and Alabama. And you're like, dang. You might pull an upset there every now and then. But and having a good coaching staff is it's like Deboer came in. I thought Tommy Rees ended up doing a good job last year. Deboer didn't even consider keeping him.
No,
he wanted his loyal.
Well, he got his guy which wound up staying at Washington anyway.
But I did think Rees did pretty good.
Yeah. Well, at the end, he said, I just kind of let the players. I got to let them play their system because I don't really know their system. I just got here. Right. He tried to come in and make his way, and he found out I don't got enough time.
Right.
I don't have enough time to implement this offense. I just kind of got to let Milroe be.
Where did he land?
I don't even know.
I don't think he'll have any trouble getting the job. And, it's just the moving and all that stuff. But I don't even know if Deboer might have talked to him. But
now, let me ask you something, and we'll get off college ball. We'll do college. Is what everybody's here for.
Yeah.
Watching Auburn spring, and it kind of made me have some thoughts. Just have these thoughts go through my head. How is Deboer? I'm thinking as an Iron Bowl, Bama and Auburn played this year. Mm-hmm. Freeze has been around the SEC. Mm-hmm. He knows how to call offenses to jerk the chain of the defense, right?
Yes, definitely.
So, and Womack is from South Alabama there, coach there. So he knows what Auburn's going to try to do.
Right.
Because you see that type of offense a lot in high school. Mm-hmm. And most of the teams are their Division twos and whatever Division ones of college. Mm-hmm. I'm curious, how do you think Deboer, because he's the offense guy, how does he he's never coached really against players of the caliber that's going to be at Auburn's and Georgia's and Tennessee's and LSU's. He's going to be coaching against players that probably some of the best players he's ever seen. So what I'm saying, when he's thinking to call this play and it don't work because it used to would work if I was at, Champaign, Illinois up there calling some plays against some kids that can't break on the ball. And when you call that play and then it don't work, you go, God dang, that defense is fast.
Yeah, he's there before he even ran his route good and he was still broke it up.
What am I going to do here? But he sees one of the better defenses, a good defense in Alabama. They're not a top 10, I don't think. They're going to be coming in top 10.
I wouldn't think so. Maybe they lost a lot.
They were at 20 or 30 last year.
Yeah.
And they gelled better as the year went on.
They did do well as the year went on.
So how's he going to how do you think he'll fare as we start seeing him? We're just going to have to see him coach and play.
Well, I think there may be some bumps in the road this year, and I think the fans are probably going to have to get over that. I'll just be honest with you. I wouldn't expect an unbelievable. Be wrong.
If he wins 10, you'd be surprised.
I would think he should be happy.
I would be surprised if they win 10.
10-2. I mean,
I think that'd be a fantastic year.
And 11-2, if they were going to win their bowl game, or maybe 11-3, I wouldn't be disappointed in that. I mean, this guy's.
No, I wouldn't either.
This is a definite change, and he did good at Washington, but they don't play the
So that's what I'm saying.
Type of schedule.
What are you thinking if you're Deboer and you go out there and you start playing, you get in and playing these Ole Miss and Tennessee, and you're going, and after the game, that scratching the head after the game in the locker room, you're going, well, I really wanted this job. Man, what a great place. It's tough.
Yeah.
Man, the competition, it's just, and it's coming again. We got LSU next week.
Next week. We just got through with Ole Miss. Had to beat them on a last-minute play. Then we got LSU.
Then we got Georgia and Auburn. And Auburn wants to take your head off every year. He don't know the kind of rival, the hate that exists, that Auburn hates Alabama so bad. The hate for Auburn is not really there because, it just is. They've kind of owned the series, sort of. And Bama's goals always seem usually be higher than just winning an Iron Bowl. This team hates you.
Right.
The players want to destroy your life. They want to destroy Alabama and get him fired.
Yeah.
They want Bama to change coaches every year, right?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
That's what Auburn would want.
I mean, they're probably. I know a lot of teams are probably chomping into bits. I mean, I think he'll be successful, but it might not be right off the bat because he might take him a year to figure things out.
I'm just thinking a lot about watching. When I watched Auburn play spring, I'm thinking as a coach, like, man, if Deboer is going to see, he's going to see talent that
abnormal, not normal.
Yes, you're not playing Oregon with 112 defense. You're not playing UCLA with 120th defense. You're not playing San Diego State. Or these Division II and III schools he's coached out for, and he's been successful.
He has.
And I'll finish with this. Coaching and recruiting is a lot of the same. The number one thing in that is people. You got to be able to relate to people.
Yes, and he has been very successful at Washington, where he was before. So if he was to not do good at Alabama, that would be the first place he's not.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent running around, man, in this conference.
Oh, I know. Some people don't fit in. Anthony Grant used to coach basketball at Alabama. That guy did great before he came to Alabama. He's done great since. Guess where he didn't do good? Alabama. I don't know why. He just didn't. Some people don't fit. But it seems like Deboer may fit. I mean, things seem to be. I don't think he's trying to change up a whole lot. Do you?
Well, I know somebody was telling me the other day that, Saban didn't like him play music at practice. Now they are. It's a little more
relaxed.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's not like Saban.
Right. And everybody's more. He said there's people I've seen and talked to there at practice. It's a little more flow. Seems like they work in and out of stations a little faster than they did with Saban and his group. He's a big station guy. He likes to work in and out of stations. Right. He likes you to do your thing and then go to the next groups and
move on.
Yeah. And let's get a lot of work in.
Yeah. Reps.
Yes. Reps at different stuff. Not
a lot of teaching.
Not 30 reps at this station and then 30 at that one and 30 over there. He wants to do
let's talk about
20, 40, 60, 80.
Yeah.
I'm going to get 80 reps and we're going to do 4 stations.
Yeah. Instead
of 3 stations, a lot more reps at one particular thing.
You can coach it a little bit, but let's not have a 5-minute powwow where you're teaching them. Just get it done.
And in this team, so that just kind of run through my head, and I want to see what you thought about that.
I think it'll take time, but I don't think he's going to have all that. I mean, Alabama's not a program you come into and say, we're changing everything, this losing model, which they did that at Nebraska, and I'll never understand that. Hey, a guy actually did that.
You can't just drop everything.
It's a different day here at Nebraska. Oh, wait, they're great. Why is it a different day? That Bill Callahan did. They hate him. He did away with the black shirt defense, and we're changing. Oh, out with the old, in with the new.
We'll see how it goes for Coach Deboer. I think they'll. Yeah, Coach Freeze, chill out, give him a chance. Coach Deboer, chill out, give him a chance. We've got a lot of young coaches in the conference now. Kirby and Lane are going to be older guys, hanging around this year. And Coach, the new guy at A&M, Elliott.
Yeah. You're talking about the one from
Duke.
Yeah.
So he's got a new coach out there.
His hands full.
Oh man, we're going to talk about them. Y'all don't give up on this through the summer. Don't think, well, football's not on, Matt. Why are y'all having a show? Because we're going to talk about all these teams. We're fixing to get in that because we only got like 19 Sundays until football.
We may
think about that.
Oh, I know. It's not long.
Really? I mean,
we may figure out that Jimbo Fisher wasn't that bad. Texas A&M's not an easy place to compete.
It's a big school, man. It's a big campus. There's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, a lot. And look at your schedule.
You got to put on a staff. That's the key, is making a good staff. So we'll see how Coach Elliott and everybody does.
We had them going 5-7 last year, And that wasn't based. I didn't base none of that off Fisher. I based it off their schedule.
Yeah, Mississippi State. New coaches. They ain't even gonna play Bama this year.
Oh man, that's
since
gonna be
down
the
on
first
schedule.
time.
I can't remember any.
Oh yeah. I never did worry about them much, though. For some reason, I just never did. Alabama seemed to have their number.
Yeah. Well,
and it would be a good game sometimes
when Dak was there, and
and then they were probably favored to win that one.
I almost says Muschamp, Mullen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
had a good team,
good coach, good quarterback. They were number one for a week.
I wonder when he's going to get back in it.
I don't know. I mean, dude. I mean, you can make a couple of million doing this.
Yeah, I know.
Why do you want?
And he's good at it.
You want to get into that transfer portal stuff and work 360 days a year? You get 5 days off, like New Year's Eve, New Year's, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day, and your birthday. That's it.
Well, see, they probably I was fixing to say they might be off a little bit right after spring.
Mm-mm.
Probably not a lot.
No,
though, is it?
There ain't no off time. When you gonna be off? You got kids are moving around and portals opening up the 16th, 15th, 16th. So
they got a week off.
Yeah, probably. Like 10 days.
Yeah.
Portal's gonna open back up again. You got to recruit your kids that are there to stay. You just come through spring with us. You want to cut some that didn't do too good, and some that were good may want to leave, and you're like, God, what am I doing? Stay.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna take my talents. I'm gonna go out to Texas Tech. What? You're from Florida. You're here at Auburn now. Why are you? What are we doing?
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go. So you gotta. It's just So Dan Mullen, now, what I'm saying, just do this. Just talk and make a lot of money. He's already got money.
I think Florida wore him out. I'm talking about physically and stuff. He worked hard down there, and things didn't go well. They did it one time. But this sport, I mean, you can go undefeated and you have a bad season, you're garbage.
People just want they just want that back-to-back national. Do you know how hard it is to win a title? Do you know how hard it is to even win 8 or 9 games? I don't think people are really realistic. Stop being fans and just think about, how hard it is to win, even to win a game.
Oh, I know.
And then you're talking about you want to win not just multiple games in a year, you want to win that multiple titles.
Yeah.
To be lucky enough to make it to a playoff. Now we're going to be a 12-team playoff, and you're going to be lucky enough to make it through that. Hope you're in the top 4. You get a bye.
Well, we're rough on coaches now. There's multiple coaches out there that have had wonderful seasons and been fired within 2 years.
Gone.
Dan Mullen, that Mac Jones team that won it at Alabama, Florida played them better than anybody all year. That was a good Florida team. He's gone next year or within a year and a half. And I think things got out of control there, but I think he could have probably got them back in line.
Yeah. So let's I'll take it easy on the coaches.
Yeah, I'm done. You're done.
Now, after he's been there 5-6 years and he's only winning 7-8 games, 6-7 games. Yeah, we may need to try to.
Yeah.
But let him build a staff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. College basketball stuff. Girls college basketball. Coach Dale, South Carolina, decided to make the opinion that that trans people should be allowed to play with girls. That's her opinion. She's number 1 team in the country right now, undefeated since last year, losing to Iowa.
So she thinks they should be able to play with them.
Yeah, I had a lot of comments on. I shared that, and there's probably 50,000 people come across that post. I've had a lot of comments about that. And no, I had one person
Anybody support it?
Yeah, there was one. That's fine. Listen, I'm not against your opinion. I'm not at all.
But you're just not taking their opinion on.
I just don't agree. And that's, it's like, well, you're just trolling to post something like this. No, it's not trolling. It's true.
Yeah, she said this.
Yeah, you can watch the video. Click the box that I shared, and she'll go to sit down at the desk. Yeah, trans people should be able to play with the girls. So here's what I would suggest to do. Let's do that. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's get a team together, and you can call them Lady Ballers, since they do have those things that make you a man,
right?
And shout out to Jake Crane and Company that they made a movie called Lady Ballers. That's what they did. The movie's about that.
Really?
Yeah, they just did it's funny. It's Ben Shapiro. They just it's a straight comedy.
Yeah,
of what would happen if we make a male team and let them play with the girls. Well, they destroy them.
Oh, yeah,
destroy them. So let's make a league and let them play South Carolina first game. And when she gets beat 90-20, I want to see her. I want to get her right after the game on the court. I want her reaction. So, Coach, losing 90-20 to the ballers out here. How do you feel about this now? And go. Well, it's just ridiculous. Of course, the men are just going to beat the girls. Of course, it's not fair.
Yeah, they. I mean, I don't know. We're trying.
You know what?
To make them equal on the court in sports, and it's just not. They're not supposed to be.
No,
they're not supposed to.
God
be.
made them both. We are the same but different.
The man is stronger. That's God. That's not us, guys.
It's just XY or XX chromosomes. Yeah. It's just how it's kind of made out. Yeah. So
women are prettier. That's God. I mean, men aren't going to come up tomorrow and going, I think we can be prettier than women.
Well, there's some that do. And you know what happens when you make a league of those trans? You would have a man's league.
I don't know why she's worried about it. She has 165-9 in the last 5 years.
So that's a great point. That'll transition to this, and we can close that comment. I just wanted to bring that up.
No, there's nothing wrong with talking about it.
I had to bring it up because it's just absolutely. It's just class of 9, that's a 10 and 11. Yeah. What Stephen A. says. Here's how I would have handled it if I'm her.
You wouldn't have brought it up.
He's a coach. So tell me back here in the back. Yeah, go ahead. Coach, what do you think about the trans women's league? I'm going to be playing for a national championship here in a day or two. I'm going to focus on the game right now. Thanks for the question, but next.
Or not even saying next.
That's just how you handle it. I'll pass on that. I'm trying to win games right now.
Right.
I'd like to win these girls' top. They've worked hard all year, and I think the question is a little ridiculous. Why would you even ask a question like that?
Right. She didn't.
Don't ask me. Don't ask anybody. I'm up here, standing here fixing to play. We're undefeated. One of the best runs in college basketball. Caitlin Clark has taken over the media by storm by beating Pistol Pete's records for points.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to go out here and try to maybe face these girls. And you're asking me that? About letting guys with their sweaty balls hang out and play with girls, and they're going to be in the dressing room with my daughter. No, don't ask me that.
I don't know.
Stop it, people. Media people, please stop.
Do you think I'm just asking, do you think they ask her that because she's homosexual?
Maybe.
But I mean, that's not even anything to do with that.
No, I mean, you can have your own preference, and nobody is I'm not against their preference. I don't care.
Right.
She's a great coach. I'm gonna give her homage to her great coaching. I don't care what she is or does.
72-1. That's her 72-1 in the last 73 games.
Coach Dale, pass on the question next time. Just say I'm here to win titles. Please don't. Let's just not refrain from those questions. And I'd just rather not.
Actually, their only loss was to.
They lost to Iowa last year.
Iowa, yeah, barely.
71-69. Iowa Clark beats the Uconn girls. Go down and. Uconn run the game. They were ahead most of the game.
Most of the game, yes.
And 12 turnovers in the first half for Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin had like 7 points.
7, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah,
But the second half.
She ended up with 21. But they had another player step up big time.
Yeah.
Low post player.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce. I think it's Skulky.
Yeah.
Skulky.
Yeah.
Might have had the best game she's ever had.
What do you think? How the second half? What'd they do?
Well, I just think they just kept moving. I think there was a lot of standing maybe in the first half, and I think Clark just did a lot of cutting and a lot of moving and was able to get some shots.
Good ball movement.
Better ball movement, and somebody's like, "Well, they set screens." The one I'm sure they did, but I saw her shoot one shot, and the girl was right here. I mean, she was right on her. And she can shoot with somebody in her face.
Yeah.
But, when you get tired during the ball game, and I think Iowa just did a bunch of cutting. And she had a lot of assists in the second half.
Yeah.
She's better at that than she is scoring.
Probably. Hey, what do you think about the play, the inbound at the end of the game? She throws it off the girl's back. That's smart.
She is smart.
That's a high level. Who thought of doing that?
She
almost run the clock out with that play.
Yes.
It was at 0.1. They had to put 0.8 back on there to.
Yeah, and it's hard to get off a shot in 0.8.
She threw it off the girl's back from Uconn.
Smart.
Put her back to her. Boom. Off you.
Oh, yeah, that's time right there. What if it just went flat down? Ball game.
Game.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think about the call? Did you have a problem with the call? I mean, it's like the girl from Connecticut said, well, we had our chances to win. That was one play.
They folded 10 up the second half. They covered win at halftime and thought this Clark is not as good as advertised. And we're just going to go out here and finish her off. Well, she had other ideas, and their coach, what's her name, Balug or Bolger or Iowa's coach. She got a strange
Bludder.
Yes.
Bluder.
Got a strange last name. Never heard it for my life. Where is she from?
No, I've never.
Like Yugoslavia? I don't know where these people from.
I watched a special, and this has something to do with what we're talking about. I watched a special on Netflix about a series about some people out in the Midwest. Their names are out there now. They're different. They're names you've never heard in your life. Berchtold, Broberg. I mean, you're like Conenberg.
But obviously, she adjusted at half. She adjusted her team. She's a good coach. And I think the girls play for her. I think they like her. I've seen her do an interview with McAfee when they were going in to play the game the week before. Seems like a real humble lady. So hats off to them, 71-69. And the call. It's a call. It's the right call. It's a foul. She's moving. She stepped out too wide, and she put her elbow up in the girl's face.
Right.
Now, here's what if you didn't watch the game, that girl that put the elbow up on the moving screen there, she had just busted the girl's nose about 10 minutes before that. Kind of accidentally, but not, I don't think so.
Not completely.
She knew she was there in that area, and she did it on purpose. Now, is there anything wrong with playing rough or playing hard? Nope, because I'd played the same way. Is it a little dirty? Maybe you want to call it that. I call it ball.
Right.
No, I'm not down. I played that way.
Yeah.
I had to play against, when I was young, I had to play against Knox Wilson and them. Bro.
You had to play rough.
You better. I mean, you just ain't going to play.
Right.
They'll just push you off the court. I mean, they will physically just push you off the court. You had to play hard.
Yeah.
So, no, it's the right call if it's the first 2 minutes of the game and the last two, Dean. That's how I see it. It didn't cost them a game. That one call didn't. They should have tightened up its second half and just played better, not let Caitlin get loose.
Yeah, she got loose a little bit, and she can just shoot. I mean, let's face it. She can light it up.
Iowa adjusted.
You can't give her an inch.
And Uconn did not counter adjust. North Carolina Bama game, same thing happened. Bama was playing good. Carolina adjusted. Coach Oates adjusted back a little bit different. Changed. Remember, they went to a man there later. I think this way up and win the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, they lit it up, too,
well,
which they lit it up the whole tournament, even yesterday.
Yeah. Now, since we're talking about Coach Dale there, 78-59, they beat North Carolina State. The girls, Wolfpack, boys and girls both got put out, but what a great season. So 50% for field goals, 46 rebounds, and 32% field goals for North Carolina State, 46 rebounds for this South Carolina team, 50% for field goal. 46?
I don't think that Iowa will beat them.
Well,
I just really don't.
So how do we think the matchup is? Iowa, South Carolina championship game.
And I think Iowa fights. And, of course, they've got the best player in the country, or one of the best, for definitely. I think everybody in the world can agree she's top 2 or 3. I mean, there's somebody out there going, she's not the best player in the country. I mean,
well, I don't know.
For whatever reason. But she's definitely top 3. But South Carolina's loaded.
They're a good team.
They're good from top to bottom. Yeah.
They're like Uconn boys.
In which Iowa plays hard, and they've got good players.
I don't see South Carolina just smoking them.
No, but I do think South Carolina will. I'll be shocked if South Carolina
How does Iowa win the game, Dean? How does Clark overcome this team and beat them, the team that they beat last year?
She just has to go wild, I think. I think she needs to have a 40 or 30-point game.
Have a 30-point night.
And somebody else has to have a great game.
10 assists, 9 rebounds, and the girl with the Afro puffs that
now she's playing well.
Yeah, I like it.
She's playing very well. She had more points than Clark the other night.
Yeah.
That probably won them the game, really.
So we'll go on a limb and say Iowa can win this game if they go up there and Caitlin goes nuts and they have some good assists and they play smart, because Dale, she's going to adjust.
Oh, yeah.
Numerously during the game.
And this is their only loss in 70-something games. If you think they're not going to be ready for it, I think South Carolina wins it. I'm like you. I don't think it'll be a beatdown. But
I'll give a score. I like giving scores. I've been pretty good with my score picks.
They both can score a lot.
What I have Bama 90. I have them like 96, 85.
Yeah, close.
Girls, I'll go South Carolina. I see 89-82 is what I see in my head.
I can buy that. I can buy that.
89-82. Write it down. Call your bookie right now at DraftKings or wherever you book your money and tell them I've got the exact score. I'm betting 1,000 on it to win you 1,000 on the exact score pick will win you like $500,000.
Somebody was telling me yesterday they put
somebody spot me 1,000. I'll bet it.
Put some money on that. It was a parlay, and they didn't put much, and they were going to win 10 times what they put in. It was Prize Picks, and it looked like an easy. It just looked like, oh gosh, I've got this.
Yeah,
this is easy. It was something. It was Sears, Edie, and the big boy for North Carolina State. They had to combine, all three of them had to combine for 27 on rebounds, assists, and points. And you're sitting there going, what? They're just giving money away. Well, guess what? The guy from North Carolina State did not have 27 combined assists, rebounds, and points. Not even close. He got shut down a little bit, but you know why.
Well, Edie had 20. We'll talk about the boys' game. I think it went kind of how it was 63-50. Wound up being
low scoring.
It was lower scoring than I would have thought it to be.
Yes, very much so.
How do you think? How do you think Edie did?
I thought he did fantastic. He's probably playing better than anybody in the tournament on the boys' side, don't you think?
DJ Holmes.
Yeah, he had a lot of points. Now, Burns only had 8, though, the big guy.
Yeah.
They just seem, they cut it to, 5 at one time?
Yes.
And after that, it was over. But, hey, hats off to North Carolina State. What a season.
I like the
26. They won 26. Won 9 straight. Won 9 their last 10.
Back on the box score thing here. They just did not.
They shot
Taylor had 11 for North. They just didn't have enough, man. I mean,
50 points, and most college teams score. I mean, a lot of that's because of Edie.
You gotta have more than 50.
Yeah, just like a lot. Alabama's low scoring for them, 72.
So I mean, Edie also had 20. Like DJ did, but the Lauer kid had 11, and the Jones boy lit it up and had 14.
Yes,
and
that was big.
They brought in 8 points off the bench. Purdue did. I mean. North Carolina State the Taylor kid brought in 11 off the bench, 4 and 2. So,
well, let me ask you something. Who's better, Edie or Klingman? We'll get to the Alabama game. I'm just asking you what you think. I mean, they're both pretty dominant. Is it Klingman? Am I pronouncing that right? I think Klingman.
I like him better. I think he plays more. He's a more smooth player. I think Edie is more of a bulk player,
right? And
Uconn, the other guy too. Who's that other tall guy that got shot? He shot a bunch of free throws the other night against Bama.
For Uconn,
looks like Manute Bowl sort of.
That's that Diarra. He's good. He comes off the bench. He's good. Their starting five's good, and their bench is good.
And they got 2 7-foot guys.
Yeah, Diarra. I saw
Diarra. So I 63-50 again. Wolfpack takes the game in stride. It turned out like I thought it would.
Tough second half. Tough. I mean, they scored. They scored 50.
Yeah.
Most teams in college basketball average 80 or more. Yeah. Most good teams. Yeah, and they did. North Carolina State did.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was a dominant performance by Purdue.
Now, the Tide makes a good run at it.
Boy, they did.
Final Four, the game ended. I picked Bama to lose by 10. I figured it'd go about how it went.
I think the game was closer than the score.
See, yeah. I don't know if you watched it, if you just seen the score, but if you're watching it, it was tied a lot. Bama's up 2. UConn's up 2, but once after halftime, what happens is that bench right there, you just got guys coming in. Now, they didn't have no points really off the bench.
They're fresh bodies.
The Johnson guy come in, but still, though, 3 for 3 on field goals for that Johnson kid. He comes in and plays, and then the Diarra.
Yeah, he's just a good defender.
Comes in, may block some shots, or he had some assists. He had some points, and there's just no –
they just shot well. I can't tell you how many times I looked over, was looking away, and look up, and they're making another shot. And Caravan and Klingman, they're good now.
Yeah, Castle had 21 and Klingon had 18. The Castle kid kind of he run the He run the game for UConn pretty much.
Yeah, 21. He had 20. All 5 of them scored. Newton, we hear this all the time, but he's kind of he's involved in his teammates. Newton is supposed to be Connecticut's star, but I don't know. I think they're all good. I mean,
37 rebounds to 29 over Alabama.
Rebound. Of course, that's
well. And then look, it was offensive rebounds too. So that means UConn's getting putbacks.
right.
Why? Because of their size at the goal. Bama couldn't get a lot of defensive rebounds. Now they wound up with 21, but UConn had 25. But they were 8 offense for Bama and 12 offense rebounds for UConn. So that tells you,
right. Well, it's just a big guy. Plus, they blocked. God, how many shots did he block?
UConn had 8 blocks. 8. Now Bama had 5.
Yeah. Nelson had a good game. Nelson had 19 again. Sears just looked unstoppable.
Yeah, a great night.
Estrada, but we had some players. Pringle had 2. Griffin didn't have but 8.
17 and 15 on fouls, UConn.
Yeah.
So, how'd you think
some
the game
people
was?
thought they.
How'd you think it was called?
Well, I know some Alabama fans didn't like the way it's called. I thought they let them play.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw one time, and I'm telling you guys, it was a train wreck down there, and they didn't call nothing.
Bodies laying all over the place.
And but
4 turnovers for UConn, 8 for Bama. That'll cost you a game. You can't turn the ball over to a team that shoots well.
No,
okay.
They shoot so well. I saw where they ended up shooting 50%, hit 10 threes. Of course, Alabama hit 11 threes, but they didn't quite shoot 50, did they?
Yeah.
46, was it? 47.
Yeah, 11 for 23.
That's good on the
UConn was 10 for 25 on threes.
So they outshot them on threes, but I don't know, just the block shots, missed chances. I mean, hey, y'all should be very proud of Alabama. And even Notes said we gave out in the last 8 minutes.
Well, that's what happened.
We gave out.
You could tell. So that's what I was kind of relying to earlier. Talking about the bench points for UConn. That's what I was really getting to, guys. That's what we said before. We told you UConn bench is deep. They are the Alabama of basketball. Like Bama is in football. They're deep. They got 5 stars sitting over there waiting to come in, and they don't have to score. They can just come in and stop you from scoring.
Yes,
and get these rebounds like we're talking about. They're getting these putback points. That's the difference. They just have depth. Bama don't. And how many seniors have got 4 starting seniors?
Gosh.
Nobody's coming back, but
Griffin maybe.
He's a sophomore.
And
he think he'd come back play his junior
Stevenson
year.
will be back.
Man, I mean, all their starting teams gone.
Yeah. See, Nelson just got to where he was great.
Gone, senior done.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
Estrada's good.
Yep.
But I think Alabama, I'll say this, they had 3 guys in double figures, and this sounds stupid, but they probably needed a 4th.
Yeah.
I mean, you had 5 guys in double figures for
They just did.
UConn.
You just did. I mean,
And Pringle, I don't know what happened. I'll have to go back and read on. I didn't see him in there a lot. He may have gotten foul trouble.
See, Grant come out 2 minutes in the game. She was watching the first game, and I was watching WrestleMania in here. And he'd go to a spot, and I'd go in there and watch for a while. And I was like, "Where's he at?" And she said, "He's fouled. He's 2 fouls already. They had to sit him." That hurt.
Well, that
hurt Bama.
Yes. He was the most improved player from the regular season of the tournament I've saw.
Him and Connect.
Oh yeah. I mean, Grant Nelson's dominant. Dominant. Come from North Dakota State.
With this being said, 63-86, UConn would have beat Purdue if we took both their scores and made it that way.
Right.
And I don't see it being that big a difference. But for our last poll of the day here, what do you?
I just don't see, Matt. I don't.
Is there?
I don't see.
How does Edie beat Klingon? Because is it okay? I'll even say this. There's 1 point, guys, and y'all comment down below, down there. Go comment. Tell me what y'all think too.
Maybe if they go right at him, what they're probably going to do, and they don't call nothing.
That's the point. Somebody said it's going to be how the refs let it
play. What if they don't call nothing on it?
Is it going to be the bigs are going to battle for this, or is this going to be a guard game like we've seen through most of the tournament?
If they let it go like they did the other night, like last night, I mean, then they let both teams play. Purdue might could get them. But if they're going to be strict, no way, Purdue.
Who's going to be able to take care of Castle for Purdue.
Oh, man, he's tough. I think the other 4, I think that's the big thing. I think Connecticut's other 4, I don't know if Edey or Klingen's better. Which one? I think they're one and the same. You actually like the guy from Uconn better.
Yeah.
But their other 4 are better than Purdue's other 4. Yeah. And their bench, too. Not knocking the Purdue players, but that Caravan.
That's what we liked about
Castle and
them beating Bama. There's just ain't no way. Bama don't have a bench to compete with. This is the basketball team. They just won it last year, right?
Right. Oh, yeah, easily. Bama's probably played them better than anybody in 2 years.
They played above their head.
That was the closest 14-point game I've ever saw in my life. I think the difference was Alabama tied it up at 56, and then Uconn goes on an 8-point run.
After that was pretty much it. Yeah. Bama couldn't keep up. They don't have the bench. If they had 2 guys, if they had another Sears, one more, and another Nelson, if they had twins, they could bring them in fresh. They could have maybe beat them.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they don't. They don't have those guys coming off the cheer over there. They just don't.
Sears had gotten to the point to where he was ridiculously good.
Well, I love to see him how he cuts to the lane.
He was going inside and scoring.
I know. And you just see him disappear in those bodies, and you see the ball shoot up in the air, and it comes down. He got off the glass left-handed.
I wasn't even close to missing. I don't know what he shot. He shot well.
Yeah. So I would think, UConn's going to win it again. I don't see. And score-wise,
you think they'll – okay, UConn has not had this in 2 years of the NCAA tournament. They've not had a game where they won it less than double digits. Is tomorrow the first time?
Yes, that could be possible.
You think they will not beat them double digits?
86-80.
Okay. I've got 81-74, 72, 81-72.
86-80, UConn.
About 150. I don't think –
it goes over 150 combined, yes, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I had 81-72, which is a good game. I mean, 86-72, guys, that was a great game. That was not a blowout. And, oh, boy, UConn just went off there at the end of it. The threes, they made like 3 threes down the stretch there.
Yeah. So that's kind of our take on and that'll be the end of the college stuff. That's going to kind of wrap up college girls and boys basketball, and that's kind of the season thriller for us.
11:30 tomorrow night, college boys. I told man, I said, I'll come over and watch the first half. He goes, first half?
I thought it was a 7:30 game.
8:20.
Be 8:30 tip.
So, I mean, halftime will technically maybe 9:30 at halftime.
Too late. 9:30 Georgia time? Tip?
No. Oh, tip, yes.
Crazy. What are we doing?
And Connecticut, and Purdue, it's okay for them because they're on Mountain Time, but UConn's on Eastern. They're on Eastern time.
All right, guys. We're going to get off here. Anything else we can think of?
I cannot think of it. This week. NFL news, Stephen Diggs.
Yeah.
Superstar.
Texans.
Went to the Texans.
Yeah.
Played with C.J. Stroud.
D'Amico, Coach Ryan's there.
Yes. They need a big – they had good targets, but now they got a elite